The next game is Lions at the Jaguars. This line opened up Lions -1.5. It's up to 3 or 3.5 in some places. The Lions are coming off the bye. So who do you like in this game?
I don't really like this game that much in general. I'm tentatively slated on the Lions here. And just my logic for that is their offense should be able to do well against the Jaguars defense if the Jaguars are still without Myles Jack and CJ Henderson, because those big pieces have been missed by them the last game and a half. So I think that those injuries are going to be important to watch. So is DJ Chark. You've just talked about how important having the number one receiver is. Chark exited with an ankle injury against Houston, and they really didn't move the ball very well after that. And we saw them lose by 18 points to Miami without Chark. I don't think Detroit is as good as Miami, especially on defense, but I do think that it's possible that they could win this game and cover. And one of the reasons for that is I don't think that the Jaguars have been very good in the red zone lately. I mean, we saw James Robinson on 4th and 1, and Doug Marrone called a halfback pass. Horrible play call. I don't mind the decision to go for it necessarily, but the play call there was very suspect. So, that's not going to make a huge difference. But if they're without Chark and they kind of need to manufacture offense in the red zone, I could see them settling for field goals. I could see the Lions getting up big like they did against the Saints and actually, continuing to do well on offense or holding up at least enough on defense to win. So I'm on the Lions here, maybe a unit, maybe a no bet. And you could convince me to this other side, but I'm just fading the injuries for right now. And I think the Lions coming off a bye, they should have a good plan in place. If they don't, they're in trouble.
Well, I don't know. I mean, their coaching staff's a little dubious, so they may not have a good plan in place. So the Jaguars are a team I picked in the Circa contest, which has an earlier submission time than the Super contest. So we didn't have Saints information by then. So the Jaguars were my 5th pick instead of the Saints. And I figured my reasoning was that Myles Jack and CJ Henderson would play because they both practiced during the week. So I thought they'd both be back. And then Sunday morning came, and then I saw they were without both those guys. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to lose this game. I actually bet Houston for 3 units because both those guys are out. But the fact that they both practiced last week tells me they were close to playing last week. So I think they're going to be back. I could be wrong, but I think Jack and Henderson will both be back. So I think that's going to help the Jaguars a lot. They're going to have Henderson, who's had a great rookie year so far, on Galladay, slow him down, and then Jack should just erase everything in the middle of the field. So that'll help a lot. And then you mentioned DJ Chark. Yeah, he left last week's game in the 4th quarter with an ankle. We'll see what happens with him. We have no idea what his status is, but if Jack and Henderson are all going to play, I'm definitely going to be on the Jaguars. Like, the Lions have no business being favored by 3.5 on the road. They're just not a good team. They're one of the worst teams in the NFL. Think about how badly they played against the Saints. They just got blown out. The Saints didn't punt until the 4th quarter in that game. And we were like, okay, yeah, the Saints are great. And then the Saints struggled to score against the Chargers, who were missing 4 starters. So, I just don't think the Lions are very good at all. And the fact that they're favored by 3.5 on the road, it just doesn't seem right. But then again, like, maybe this line move says some people know some things about the Jaguars' injury situation. So I wouldn't lock anything in yet. But right now I'm on the Jaguars, but I could switch to the Lions based on the injury report.
Yeah, and I'm on the Lions, and I could switch to the Jaguars depending on what happens. It's probably a no bet for me right now. It's all going to depend on injuries, like you said. I don't love the line movement, but at the same time, I also feel like the Jaguars are regressing, not in full, but kind of back towards the point we thought they'd be at the beginning of the season, where we thought they were going to be one of the worst teams in the league. I think they're getting back to that point. But if they're fully healthy, and I think DJ Chark's the wild card for me. If he's there, I think they move the ball on offense. If he's not, I'm not sure. And then this game's just very muddy waters for me. So I probably will end up avoiding this one.
Yeah, we saw the Jaguars without Chark in week 3 against the Dolphins. They got blown out. And then week 5, they were competitive with the Texans, and then Chark left and they couldn't move the ball. So yeah, you're right.